Hi, today we're going to show you a video on how to do a terminal knot. Terminal knots are essential to a lead because they hold your beads in place. And when tightened down properly, they also will minimize the stretch from knot to knot so that your beads don't slide around. So I have braided a strand of leather and I have taken my string and tied this off, okay? Now that I have it tied off, I'm going to take this mass here and just kind of open this right up. When you open it up, you want to just be sure that your strands are not crossing over each other down here in the center. So, and my core is over to the side. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of conditioner. You can't even see it on my hand. It's so little bit. And I'm going to just apply it to the underside here. Okay. Once I do that, I'm going to set my core out of the way. I'm going to grab my first strand and put my thumb in it, the top of it, and then I'm going to bring that over my thumb, also over the piece of leather next to it. And then I'm going to take this second piece of leather and I'm going to bring it over the piece of leather next to that. And I bring these down kind of tight. The only one that actually has a big loop is where my thumb is. So the piece of leather that went over, I'm going to move my core out of my way. I'm going to take that piece of leather next to it and bring it over the piece, the last piece actually. And that last piece I'm going to bring over the piece before it and through where my thumb was at, that big loop. Okay, now I just pull the end that's making the big loop. Pull that tight. Not tight, but just kind of shimmy it up. So now I am going to take any strand and right next to, I'm going to take that strand and notice how I have the end of the strand cut at an angle. I do that because it makes it really easy to do this next step. So I've got the strand here and then the strand before it. I am going to take this pointy end of this and go underneath that next strand of leather. And I'm going to pull. When I pull this, it comes out in the center. It comes out in the same spot where your core is. I'm going to continue to do this all the way around with all 4 strands. So I've got this strand here. I'm going to come up underneath. Sometimes it's a little bit tighter, and when it's tighter, I just take and push my fid through to open that up a little bit. Then I take and pull that one through. I've got 2 more strands to go. And push that through. And when I pull these up through, I do kind of tighten them up, and I always make sure that my leather is facing me as I'm going around. So here's one more, the last strand, and for this last strand, you can see here that there is an X. This is actually the strand next to the one I'm working with. So I'm going to open that up there where that X is, and I'm going to push this through. Now that I have all of my strands there, I'm going to tighten this down, which is relatively simple. Put your fid in. And I just twist my fid, which gives it just a little tug, and then follow that. So come to here. The key to tightening is nice even tension all the way around. You don't want to pull super hard. You just want nice even tension. So take your next strand, pull, give a little tug, follow it around, and pull here. And as you can see, I concentrated on all of my strands facing forward as I was going around and making the knot, so they're still facing forward. Again, a little tug on this, follow it around, do another little tug, and pull this through. And this is the final strand. Give a little tug, follow it around, tug it again, and follow it through. Okay, so as I do this, I want to make 3 tightening passes. That's pass number 1. So I would do this 2 more times, getting a little bit tighter each time, but maintaining even tension as I tighten. The final thing that you do on your terminal knots is you roll them. Always, always, always roll your terminal knots. It just gives them a finished look. You can roll them. I use this little tool, and I just clamp it in that little custom tool, and I roll it. You can also use your bone folder for this. This bone folder is great. Okay. So there's my finished terminal knot. It's nice and round. And as you see, as I turn it around, I also still have all of my front sides of my leathers facing out. Let me separate that one. And this is a great because now I'm ready to move on and braid.